Welcome to the review of Golden Kamuy Season 2. Now onto the episodes. Edogai-kun begins with Tsurumi meeting with Edogai. Tsurumi learns that Edogai taxidermied people. Tsurumi helps Edogai with his problems. Tsurumi asks Edogai to make fake tattooed skins. Toshizo's group talks about Nopperabo. Ushirpa has a dream about her father. Tanigaki hangs out with Ushirpa's uncle Makanakuru. Tanigaki meets a boy named Sakapashi. The trio learns from Inkarmat that someone will betray Ushirpa. Tanigaki prepares to leave to find Ushirpa. Edogai-kun ends with Tsurumi using Inkarmat. Fakes begin with Oguta going after Edogai. The group arrives in Yubari. The 7th Division fights Oguta. Sugimoto and Shiraishi arrives at Edogai's house. Sugimoto, Shiraishi and Oguta chase after Edogai and Tsukishima in the mines. Edogai gives Tsukishima the fakes. The mines begin to collapse. Ushiyama saves Sugimoto and Shiraishi. Oguta meets with Ushiyama and the others. Oguta informs the group that Tsurumi got Edogai to make fakes. The group is visited by Toshizo and Shinpachi. Tsukishima delivers the fakes to Tsurumi and informs him that Edogai's last words were iron. Fakes ends with Tsurumi learning that the fakes can be detected if they touch iron when they're wet. Let's talk about the past begins with Edogai's house getting attacked. Toshizo and Oguta fight the 7th Division. Sugimoto helps the group. The group escapes. The group hangs out. Tanigaki, Inkarmat and Sakapashi team up. Toshizo and Shinpachi talk. The group discusses the fake skins. The group plans to have Shiraishi sneak them into Abashiri prison. Let's talk about the past ends with Shiraishi running into the 7th Division. The great plan to infiltrate the Asahikawa 7th Division begins with Shiraishi getting captured by FHE 7th Division. The trio continues to look for Ushirpa. Kiroranka and Toshizo head to the 7th Division. Toshizo sends Shiraishi a message. Toshizo and Kiroranka fail to save Shiraishi. Torumi gets visited by Arisaka, who shows him new guns. Arisaka gives Nikaido a new leg. Toshizo introduces the group to a man named Kiyohiro. Kiyohiro plans to pretend to be the warden of Abashiri prison. Sugimoto learns that Shiraishi has been working with Toshizo. The group arrives in Asahikawa. The great plan to infiltrate the Asahikawa 7th Division ends with Kiyohiro and Sugimoto meeting with Yodogawa of the 7th Division. Inside the belly begins with Kiyohiro and Sugimoto meeting with the 7th Division to get Shiraishi back. Shiraishi meets with the duo. Koito informs the 7th Division that they have to wait for Tsurumi. Koito injures Sugimoto and kills Kiyohiro. Shiraishi escapes with Sugimoto. Sugimoto, Shiraishi and Oguta steal an air balloon. The trio stop Koito from chasing them. The trio is joined by Ushirpa. The group hide from the 7th Division. Inside the belly ends with Sugimoto and Ushirpa talking. Ani Nekko begins with Sugimoto's group heading out. Tanigaki's group gets a message from Makanakuru. Oguta tells Tsurumi about how he learned of his sister's death. Ani Nekko ends with Tanigaki's group meeting up with Sugimoto and the others. Kamuy hopunire begins with the groups visiting a village. The groups watch a Kamuy hopunire. Ushirpa gets news about Hochi. Ryu meets up with the group. The groups leave the village. Koito speaks to Tsukishima. Tsurumi speaks to the both of them. Oguta remembers killing his mother. Oguta tells his father that he killed his brother. Oguta kills his father. Kamuy hopunire ends with Tsurumi covering up what Oguta did. Blue Eyes begins with Tanigaki speaking with Inkarmat. The group gets attacked by locusts. Inkarmat tells Ushirpa that her father isn't Nopperabo but is named Wilk instead. Inkarmat tells Ushirpa that Wilk was killed by Kiroranka. Tanigaki and Inkarmat have sex. Ushirpa confronts Kiroranka about her father. Shiraishi tells the group about Nopperabo and that Toshizo planned the prison break. The 7th Division plans to head out. The 7th Division looks into where they will move Nopperabo. Blue Eyes ends with the prison learning about the 7th Division's attempts on Nopperabo. The sound of an ambush begins with the group learning about a man named Tony who is a leader of bandits. The group goes to a hot spring. The group fights the bandits. The group hides from the bandits. The group goes into the bandits' hideout. Toshizo and Ushiyama arrive. The sound of an ambush ends with the group taking photos. On the night of the new moon begins with Sugimoto and Ushirpa hanging out. The group heads to Abashiri prison. The group makes a plan to sneak into the prison. The group hangs out. Tanigaki and Inkarmat talk about Wilk. Tanigaki and Inkarmat make a promise. The group learns where the prison is moving Nopperabo. The group starts the plan. The group finds a double of Nopperabo. The prison learns of the group. On the night of the new moon ends with the 7th Division arriving at Abashiri prison. Overwhelmed begins with Tanigaki learning that Inkarmat is working with Tsurumi. Tsurumi and his men get near Abashiri. The guards fight the 7th Division. Ushirpa talks to Toshizo. The 7th Division closes in on Sugimoto. The prisoners get released. Sugimoto and Shiraishi learn that Toshizo set them up. The 7th Division fights the prisoners. Kiroranka helps Sugimoto. The group learns that Nopperabo is in the chapel. Tony and Toshizo enter the chapel. Anudo attacks Tony. Sugimoto fights Nikaido. Overwhelmed ends with Sugimoto finding Nopperabo. Call out begins with Sugimoto learning that Nopperabo is Ushirpa's father. Toshizo kills Anudo. Ushirpa confirms that Nopperabo is her father. Sugimoto and Nopperabo get shot by Oguda. Tanigaki move their bodies. Tanigaki learns from Inkarmat that Kiroranka assisted in the shooting. Tsurumi and the 7th Division finds Tanigaki and the others. Tsurumi talks to Sugimoto. Oguda, Kiroranka, Ushirpa and Shiraishi leave. Sugimoto plans to kill Kiroranka and Oguda. Tsurumi sends Sugimoto, Shiraishi, Koito and Tsukishima out to find Ushirpa. Ushirpa has a dream about Sugimoto. Call out ends with Sugimoto and the others heading after Ushirpa. That was Golden Kamuy Season 2. Now onto my final thoughts. Starting with the good, the characters all had a part throughout the season. The story is good. The ending theme, The Clock Tower's Bell by Eastern Youth. There was nothing I would consider bad. Overall I would give it an 8 out of 10.